Alright, what's going on, guys? This is your old pal CHH. I want to welcome you to today's video. Today is another physical media, somewhat kind of loose history video. Tales from the Crypt has to be one of the most popular TV shows, not only in horror, but just ever. It penetrated pop culture. The Crypt Keeper has been around since 1989 and continues to just stay relevant. I even did a YouTube short maybe last week, and I was like, who's the mascot of the horror genre? Now, that's a question where there could be a ton of answers. You could go with the slasher icon, you could go with Elvira, you could go with Vincent Price, Bela Lugosi, you could go with... There's a number of things you could go with. Me, I go with the Crypt Keeper. To me, the Crypt Keeper is hands down the mascot of the horror genre. The second you see that character, you know the sound that the character makes, that high-pitched laugh, and you know the show, and I even think the theme song probably plays in your head. When I was really little, I remember seeing little pieces here and there of Tales from the Crypt, because we would get free HBO for a week sometimes back in the day, or we had those boxes back in the day that you would get to watch HBO and wrestling pay-per-views. They were all the rage, these crazy boxes you would get, and you could basically get wrestling pay-per-views for free. Those days are long gone now. Everything's streaming now on different sites, but back in the day, it was the Wild West on watching stuff without paying for it. It was... I mean, it just was. Everybody, if you're old enough, you know what I'm talking. You remember that box. You know what I'm talking about, those boxes you got that people set up at the house. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about Tales from the Crypt. The show is on DVD. Why is it not on Blu-ray? Well, as we go through this video, I'm going to kind of explain things. So, let's go back to 2015. I wanted to watch Tales from the Crypt top to bottom. I'd seen a number of episodes before, and I had seen the movies, or at least I had seen Demon Night. I don't know if I had saw Bordello of Blood yet. I know I at least saw Demon Night, and I really wanted to watch the show. So what did I do? I went on eBay or Amazon, probably eBay at the time, because I didn't really get into Amazon on a full-time basis really until about 2018. And I just ordered the show. I went on there and I bought Tales from the Crypt Complete Series. And as years gone by, I've learned to see that there are a different number of releases for the show. There's a couple, and no Blu-ray. So I did a little research. I checked some other videos. Joe Blowhard did a really great video on this, and I want to give credit to him. So this is what I got back in the day when I ordered Tales from the Crypt, the Complete Series on DVD. I got a bunch of separate releases in here, and then I realized, oh, these are separate seasons. So the first one we have right here is Season 1. Tales from the Crypt. Now, it comes in a sliding case, kind of the way Vinegar Syndrome does some of their slipcovers. And this gives you all the episodes from the first season, and it gives you all throughout the house one of the most legendary Tales from the Crypt episodes of all time. It's probably one of people's favorite Christmas horror things to watch once a year. It's absolutely incredible. People love it, and I do too. And it's a really nice glossy slip that you would get on this. Very forward thinking in terms of how collectors would like things. So, and on this season it opens up kind of like one of those, it's somewhat of like a fold out media book, and you've got your discs in there, and you've got cool factoids about the episode. So that was Season 1. So when I first got these, I was having a blast just kind of like looking at the color schemes and the artwork on these, because all of them had, you know, fun colors, and they're really cool. So, like I said, here's Season 1. You got this teal color. We'll set that right there. Then I picked up Season 2, and Season 2 was a banger of a season. This one came in purple. It's a lot thicker. You can see the size comparison. So Season 2 definitely had more episodes. And Season 2 came in purple, and this one had one of my favorite episodes with Demi Moore in here. The celebrity effect on this show was sensational. You had so many people involved in the show. I remember seeing this famous shot of Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Crypt Keeper taking a photo. There was also a picture of Tom Hanks. There was this episode directed by Michael J. Fox. The series was on top of the absolute world. The who's who of Hollywood were all wanting to be involved with the show in one way or another, and it probably made the show very, very expensive, which also could be why the show could never really be done today, because it wouldn't live up. At this time, it was so popular, everybody wanted to be involved in them, and it would probably just be hard to live off. Patricia Arquette's in there. The stars are in, like, just look at the back of that. Patricia Arquette and Demi Moore on the back of this for Season 2. And this has purple, which is my favorite color, so really love that. And it's even embossed on the front. So this was the first way to get the seasons. We'll kind of breeze through the rest of these. Here's Season 3, which Kyle MacLachlan is right there on the back. Again, the celebrity effect on this was incredible. This one comes in somewhat of like a burnt red color, the complete third season. And the interesting thing was, Season 2 also had, I guess I'll show this real quick. Season 2 also did the fold out. And again, I thought this was really cool. You get these pictures. Demi had that really big fat guy she was on the date with. I loved it. And then you open it up and there's more art in there. And then you get your discs, of course. But they kind of changed things up after this, and I got to be honest with you, it wasn't for the better. I really like the design of this. Typically, I don't like those kind of books. I mean, I complained about it with Hellraiser. I say complained. I said it wasn't my preference. I didn't really complain. That's not even fair to me, for me to say that. Starting with Season 3, we started getting mini DVD cases, slim DVD cases. Season 3 was great. I think this was 91, 90. So it was either 90, Season 2 or Season 3, I don't remember, but there's an episode where Iggy Pop performs. It's somewhat of this hard rock venue episode, and there's trash Alice Cooper pictures on this on the wall in the venue, and Iggy Pop's performing. It might have been Season 2, but it was incredible, because I love Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop's one of my heroes in music. I love him. So with Season 3, they went with a disc form, and I'll show you this one, and they continue to do this. Now, it's not all bad when they went to this, because what they did do cool was they still flooded the back with all those cool factoids, and you get, you know, facts about the episodes and little debriefs, and then they put art on the inside. So even though they kind of slimmed things out, you still got some cool bang. And look on the back here, we've got Norm from Cheers. So by Season 3, the show was still riding super, super, super high with the celebrity effect, and they did some really cool stuff. Look at that. There's the Crypt Keeper playing guitar. It might have been in Season 3 with Iggy Pop. I can't remember. It was 2 or 3. It was 2 or 3. I remember it was an early season, and I was so happy to see Iggy Pop in there. Next up, this is the complete 4th season, and the artwork and the hard cases on the outside are still really nice. And I love the fact that each one has a different color palette. So when you stick these seasons next to each other on the shelf, it just looks like this really cool rainbow effect. That's really it's nice. So with the 4th season, we got one of my favorite women, Beverly D'Angelo, in here, where she plays. I remember she played some kind of seductive vampire. There she is, right there. And this was 92, I believe. So the 4th season, I remember being really good. I think Season 2 and 3 are probably my all-time favorites. But the interesting thing is, if you talk to people, they can have some of their favorite seasons could be the latter seasons, because the show really kept, I think, a good sense of quality to it. But there you go. It was Season 4. And then, it does have special features. For instance, there's a commentary on What's Cooking by the Crypt Keeper, John Cassier, writer Alan Katz, and series chronicler Digby Deal. Stars of Season 4 montage hosted by the Crypt Keeper. So, yeah, that's another thing I should say. And they all have very similar special features, like little behind-the-scenes fun things and things like that. So, yeah, when I remember getting this in the mail, I was like, oh, this is cool. I was expecting just some sort of a box set. I wasn't aware that there was going to come in separate seasons. Excuse me. Here's Season 5, and on the back of this, we get our great buddy John Stamos, Uncle Jesse. And on Season 5, we kind of got like this more of an orangish red color with Tales from the Crypt, and there he is on the front. And they always have fun pictures of the Crypt Keeper. Like the previous one, he's a detective, and on this one, he's somewhat of like a chef or a butcher. And he's got all his his peppers down there, his skeleton. And yeah, this is I remember liking Season 5, 93. Yeah, I remember liking Season 5 pretty well. I don't have any memories offhand, but I want to stop for a second and tell you guys what my favorite episode is now that I'm thinking about it. It was probably in Season 2 or 3. Again, I could be off, but it's the Morton Downey Jr. episode. That is my all-time favorite episode from Tales from the Crypt. I love it so much. I love going on YouTube and watching old Morton Downey Jr. clips. That talk show of his was just insane. The talk show it's crazy. He brings people out that he doesn't like, asks them a question, they don't answer fast enough, and he kicks them off the show. It's just ridiculous. So his episode was funny. Next up, guys, complete 6th season. Now this one has a kind of a nice lime green color on the front, and let's see who we recognize in the back. Oh, I definitely recognize. Here's Raising Cain himself. The actor's name is slipping me. You know exactly who that is, though. Season 6 was 1994, so the show was coming to a close. But I remember, again, liking these. And in terms of picture quality, they were not bad. I mean, they were clearly DVDs, but they were not bad. And, when it comes to, we can kind of get into this now. When it comes to why hasn't the series come out on Blu-ray, I thought it was going to be as simple as this, guys. A lot of times, some of these TV shows, they'll be shot on film, but they'll be edited on tape. And maybe that means that the original elements, the film, was trashed. Now, there may be a chance that could be the case, but that's not why the show hasn't been released on Blu-ray. Obviously, when the show gets a DVD sale or DVD release, there is a joint agreement with everybody in terms of dividends and things like that. There's a lot of hands in the pie. There's a lot of executive producers. There's people that have the rights to the Crypt Keeper because of the design and the creation of the design. Those people have the rights to that. Then you have the EC Comics, and then I think the show, when it ended with HBO, something happened. It reverted right back to the creator, the initial creator, and then he passed away. So now there's a number of separate licenses and people that would have to come together to approve this. There's a little bit of legal limbo with the Tales from the Crypt name. It's multifaceted, which I didn't realize. It's a mess. John Kassir has gone on panels on Comic-Cons and things like that and said the same thing. He was like, this show has had there's so many legal hands in the pie. It's actually impressive how many there are, which also would make the show really impossible to A, come back, and B, for them to release the show on a new format. That would be a whole new agreement. Obviously, the agreement for DVD, that's probably in perpetuity, I would assume, because I picked up a new release box set that's got the date of 2017 on it. And we'll talk about that in a second. I'll show you that. But yeah, this was the 6th season, guys. And again, still, after Season 2, they all went to slim DVD cases. And then the last season, Season 7, which I remember liking more episodes than not. But the only thing is, the camera's kind of, distressing it. But the Tales from the Crypt font, the color is kind of close to the same as the box. So it's kind of hard to see it. It makes it worse on camera, but this was the last season, Season 7, 1995. So the show went from 1989 to 1995. So it went through some cultural changes for sure. It basically, the show was going on during the height of what you could call the hair metal era, the tail end of the height of the hair metal era. And it went through grunge and everything. But the show still kept this level of wildness to it the whole time. And, the celebrity effect might have worn off a little bit. There was certainly the craze in the first couple seasons. I'd say the first 4 seasons. Everything was insane. The names involved was wild. You would see, who's directing this one? Michael J. Fox is directing this episode? Arnold Schwarzenegger's directing? Tom Hanks' name? And, of course, you had Robert Zemeckis involved in the show. So, I mean, it really was incredible looking back. And, watching the show top to bottom, it's just like any other show. You're going to have episodes that are they can't all be winners, but there are some iconic episodes in here that you'll never forget. I think the biggest is probably, like I said, the All Through the House with the Killer Santa. But there are so many fun ones, and the themes are all over the place too, which makes it even more entertaining. But the Crypt Keeper segments in all of them are always incredible. The scenery with him and everything is just wild. So guys, I remember I opened my package and this is what I got. Now, I don't see these sold like this anymore. When you get all 7 seasons together, I don't see this anymore. It's box sets, which brings us to a release that probably came out after this one. And the one that I see most people have, and I think most people like to have, it's this. It's a box set for Tales from the Crypt, and it basically is this black box with the Crypt Keeper on the front with Tales from the Crypt in a yellow, and it's all 7 seasons in a DVD case, and that is the one I see most people have. So I thought, maybe that is the last release that they did for this, and I guess technically it is, because this one is really not much different. It's just more of a shelf-friendly version. So what happened was this, guys. I love Tales from the Crypt, and I wanted to be able to catalog the releases of the show. So, you know, I had this, and I was like, you know what? I really like the box set that they have, the black box set. Let me get it cheap, and then I'll add it to the collection. So I started looking around at, you know, shops, like trying to get it used, and I didn't see it, and I was like, well, let me just see, because if I can get it for 20 bucks, I don't mind rebuying it so I can have the box set version, because I just love the show. It's something I want to have. So I go on Walmart.com, and sure enough, there it is, Tales from the Crypt box set for 20 bucks. Now, mind you, it has that art that I was wanting to see, because that represents the box set. So I order it for $22, and I get it in 2 days from Walmart, which is actually really good shipping. So 2 days goes by, I check the mail, there's my box, but it feels a little light, and I was just like, I don't know, maybe there are just a bunch of recycled cases in there, and those DVD cases are pretty light, so that might be why the weight's a little off. Well, I get it, it's this, and I'd never seen this before in a store or not. It is what I ordered. It's the complete series, Tales from the Crypt, and it's got the cool box set art I got. I paid a nice price, 20 bucks for it, but it was much thinner than I was expecting. So now you're probably like, what is that if you haven't seen this? Well, here you go. It's a box set that has the show in one of those chunky DVD cases. And this has, the newest date I found on this, guys, was right here, 2017. Okay, I know that's blurry, but 2017. So it looks like they made a more modest, shelf-friendly version of the show, but it kept the same box set art. And on the back, of course, it goes through those are all the cases from the initial run of the show, which those have dates on them of 2007. That's the newest dates I found on this version of the show with the separate seasons. So on this one, it's kind of got like those, this is kind of popular. You see this a lot now with TV shows on DVD. It's a fat DVD case, and they have all the discs in there. And, you know, this isn't my favorite way, but also there's benefits to this too. So let's talk about the benefits and the downfalls. So the downfalls of this is these cases, the discs can come out semi-easily. Now, I go in there, the first thing I do is I pull this thing out. I completely pull it out. I press all my discs in. They just sit in here. They don't connect in here. They just, you know, you take it and then you connect them all in, and they sit in there, and then you can close your case. Which, you know, that's fine, I guess. But the discs can move around a little bit if you move it. You know, it's just, they're not the most secure. So the benefits of having the other version, and I'm probably not going to try to get the other version now. This is fine for me. This actually might be the release I'll use more often than the other ones, because to me these are almost kind of really cool relics now, and I want to make sure I keep these in great shape. I don't want to damage the discs on those at all. So I'll probably use this one. But the benefit of this obviously is for shelf space, you know, unless you want to display it front ways so you can show off the artwork, because the box set version, the previous version, is basically these as DVD cases, and it's much wider. And I see people have that one more so than anything. But, you know, this is the release that I got. I didn't know I was going to get this. And, you know, with the price point that it was, it makes sense. That's not to say that maybe you can't find the other box set with the separate DVD cases for the seasons in there. But, you know, that's not bad. For 20 bucks, I'm happy with that. And maybe some of you are could say, well, you know, that's actually cool. I would rather that, because I would love to have the show. Now that I know that it's got umpteen legal issues and it's not going to come out on Blu-ray, I'll just get it on DVD, and, you know, I don't have much shelf space. That's fine. So, you know, this is available. This version of the box set on Walmart for 22 bucks. I just got it. And there you go. So there are basically 3 releases in America. Now, in Germany, I think they put out a big media book box set of the show, but it's obviously probably from just some sort of upscaling technique that they did to just release the show on Blu-ray. Or maybe they just released it on Blu-ray and they have less discs, because Blu-ray discs, I think, have more space on them. So it's not something I've ever seen people say, oh yeah, you should import the show on Blu-ray because you can get the show in higher definition in Germany. I've never seen anybody say that. As a matter of fact, I watched a few videos and most people said, you know, it's just really gorgeous, the packaging and stuff, but nobody ever commented on the picture quality. So guys, I'm not here to say that you know, a Blu-ray version is not ever going to happen, but the reality is there are more legal issues than Vince McMahon right now. You know, if you know about that going on right now, you know what I'm talking about. But like, there is the rights with the name. There is the multiple people who have the rights to the look of the character, the design, EC Comics. Like, there is a multitude of things. So what I think probably happens is there is a agreement, a deal done for the DVD format, but to do a remastered version on Blu-ray, you know, would be insane and probably just won't happen. So that's why they're probably able to keep DVDs in stock, and it's not like there's a time limit. I would assume it's a perpetuity deal to be able to keep the show available on DVD, because I just got this. It was brand new. So guys, this is the latest version, I think, of Tales from the Crypt on DVD. Which release do you have? Do you have the old separate seasons like I do? Do you have the big chunky box set version? Or did you actually see this at your store and picked up this version of Tales from the Crypt? Let me know, guys. I'd love to see which one you guys have. If I see the chunky box set version for very cheap at a used DVD shop, and I mean very cheap, I might get it just to collect and categorize all those releases, because I really enjoy that sort of thing for a show that I really love. But if not, you know, I can't complain. I like this set. This will kind of be my utility set. I'll probably use this when I want to watch the show. But, yeah, guys, greatest show on earth. Tales from the Crypt is incredible. I love it. And, like I said, my favorite episode is the Morton Downey Jr. episode. So, guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you might have learned a little bit of something from this. And if you thought about picking up the show on DVD, I would go to Walmart right now. You can get this very, very cheap. And it's more shelf-friendly than the other one. Maybe just not as cool for the physical media fans and the box set fans. So you got some options. I'm sure they're on eBay as well. Thank you guys for watching this video. This is your old pal CHH. You guys take care, and I'll see you next time. Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.